COVID-19 Policy Regulation Services at McKinnon, 704 East Olive, and service I have at the COVID-19 Policy Regulation and Services at McKinnon Law Office. The McKinnon Law Office I have this COVID-19 Policy Regulation Service. Applying the COVID-19 Policy Regulation and Services. Now the services they have the COVID-19 Policy Regulation and Services here at the McKinnon Law Office. Mr. McKinnon Law Office, you know, this pre-facial, this face recognition, this apply at McKinnonLawOffice.com. You see the face recognition and the compromise of the voice and eyeball recognition and the contact of the visual of the law firm in the background and COVID-19 Policy Regulation and Services. Now the McKinnon Law Office.com and services here at the LawOffice.com Service Center. Since they like removing services, people like going tampering with things, every shape, way, and form. We got some extension cords missing, and it's connected to a battery charger, International 3000, for the cold weather conditions to charge the cold cranking app executive order of the COVID-19 Policy Regulation and Services. For reason why. See the cold cranking app connected to the alternator of the 17B21 International 3000, because Mr. McKinnon has this international tractor applying the COVID-19 policy regulations. Now, swimming a lot has a duration of water withdrawal and the draining of the earlobes. I have water draining my earlobes all the time because I'm underneath the water all the time. And I have this International 3000 and waking up to no extension cord and services connected to the Microsoft program. It's international. And see the courage of this man. The individual, the utmost ranking services of his increments of society. And Mr. McKinnon, get a visual of this. You know, how they try and erase information, the contents of information which don't belong to them in any way, shape, and form. Reason why? Because Mr. McKinnon, 7 days a week at the law firm administration, we got Sunny Farms, and this tractor has been embedded because of the tax forms and the Social Security checks, and also the gigantic blog and information, all the information of money that's been misled, cached in different names. International service of this harvester that John Deere ever going to implement in Moses Lake, Washington, and Othello, Washington, and their services they have partake at the Ford Company and Kennewick, Bill McCurley, Ford, and also Mercedes-Benz Clearwater. And the Commissioner's Office has in Bend County Justice Department, we just call Mr. Andy Mill, West State Prosecutor, carrying this international service of 3000 B7P2. Now this hybrid has nipple rings, harvesters, this gigantic blade that carries the McKinnon emblem all over it. So the service implying the international service for parts, services, lubing, hydraulic hoses, the international utility connection to the international for the winter hours. of course, the nest. The nest we have this of corruption that they got. This is the erased information recovered. And they recovered all this information with a brick. With a brick full of information. That brick is called a terabyte. Now the terabyte carries an executive order McKenna law office. And this terabyte of a nest, go figure, a baby owl and baby robins, and also baby mud pies. And mud pies are stationary in these McKenna law office. These mud pies come in here. You got bats, and these bats are fruit bats because we have peach and wines and grapes and pears and peaches, and they go embedding themselves in this light fixture. Now these light fixtures and the contents of this information, you've got these nests here. And that nest has this emblem of his face. And that emblem of his face, an animated office, and McClellan office carries this COVID-19 executive order where the information was erased. And that's a lot of information. All of this information has been precluded. An individual certification of COVID-19 executive order. And we call the prosecutor and the Watts State prosecutor, Watts State Patrol. And we're at the McKenna law firm, of course. You know, people like shooting at people for one way or another, and taking shots at people in the dark, pitch black. So you can get a description of their gun, and a good description of their and then you see the contents of if he's a black or Mexican or Puerto Rican or Cuban or illegal alien or Al-Qaeda, ISIS member or an Indian tribal leader. They get to access to its opportunities of their release to the custody of the United States of America, and they bring their havocs and information of getting rid of the servers every such way and form. You know, John Deere for being different, and also a tire company. Ajmer Singh Nijjar, CIMARON5INC. He's a billionaire. And this billionaire wants to know the other billionaire names. Mr. Donald Trump wants to meet and talk to Mr. Ajmer Singh Nijjar. He wants to know who Ajmer is, what size he is, how tall he is, how many weapons he got. His friends, his individual systematic automatic partake in the individual certification of the individual international trade of Wall Street, the emblems of the artifact George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, 1516 President, Teddy Roosevelt, Mr. Taft, James Norman Manus, Mr. Mark Alexander Miley, United States Department of DOD, the Pentagon. You want to know who Mr. Miley is, right? You want to know Mr. NATO admirals from the NATO Atlantic Marine Corps, and also the Atlantic NATO Geneva Convention of the admirals and generals, and also the U.S. Marine Corps Marine One and Air Force One, and also Doomsday. See, this is information that they got, and all this information and data information that they can retrieve. UBI number 602720979. That's Mr. Andy Miller, Watts State Prosecutor. Now this manifest of all electricities and electrical power connected to the cold cranking apps and the gigantic white truck, which has John Deere Evergreen Implement Service, and also the Les Schwab. And this Les Schwab is a gigantic white truck Ford. And look at the connections it's connected to. See, we got recorded information, download information, the abstract information has been erased and put in the array services. See, we got a little nest. We got an owl. We got some deer. Live deer. Live raccoon. Live deer. Mama deer. Baby deers. And you got some bucks. And you got some mid-ranges. Mama raccoons. Baby raccoons. And people that like stealing from Mr. McKenna and Mrs. McKenna. See, Mr. Donald Trump has this regulation report, transaction reports, multitasking Microsoft backup recovery system, International 2007 8B218. 602-720-979, CIMARON5INC. And so we have the United States Army, the case, and also the download on the case. It's a gigantic military rig, which is connected. Mr. McKen don't know that, but we got auctions, we got plantation and properties that are used to park these rigs, and they get picked up by the CDL Ordnance Services and the military array. And then Mr. McKenna Law Office, Andy Miller, 509-735, Mr. McKenna Law Office, 509-765-4455,